Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. I see Andrew is here and Bridget is here. Hello. Triple J is here. Modesty Blaze is here. Hello, everyone.
That sounds good.
Sounds good? Okay, sounds good. Jesse is here. Producer Jesse is here, as always.
I'm here. Hello.
Thank you, Jesse, for being here and for moderating the chat and being yourself.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for that. We're in a Saturday. It's very hot. We just had to, Modesty Blaze said, hello, Dave and Jesse. Hello.
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 Oh, it is hot. 83.
It's 83 out, and it's been kind of humid. So, but we're lucky to be inside.
And have air conditioning. It just turned off.
A little bit of air conditioning. We have to do the air conditioning. Hello, Justin.
And they hear
Welcome.
me today, there's quite a wall of movies over here.
There's a wall. I know the wall of movies is blocking the light over here too, because it's so large. We can do the guess what's in the stack today too for this for the topic. The movie addict is here. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July for those in the U.S. that are here. We didn't really go out. We go out a little bit, but we didn't. I think they didn't have any fireworks in our town, at least until today, I guess.
Well, I don't think the town had fireworks, but there was a local event.
We heard a lot of noises. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah,
We heard some noises.
Too.
Yeah. I remember when we, a lot of people are concerned too if you have a pet, sometimes the pet gets very anxious during any kind of a firework display. And of course, we had a dog for a long time, and that was an issue.
Yeah, she would shake. And
she would be very shaky because of the noises and everything like that, and
drool.
And yeah, exactly. I mean, we would be very, very anxious there too. So, but happy Saturday, everyone. We usually wait a little bit for others to join before we get into our topic. But our topic today is film remakes. I think that was one of the ones we had on the list from last week, and I found so many. I found so many film remakes.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's only one I'm going to talk about today that I did not like, but most of the remakes I liked.
Yeah.
I enjoyed.
So some of the films in the stack are the originals, and then some are the remakes, right?
I mean, sometimes I have, one of each.
Sometimes you have the original and
I have the original and the remake.
Sometimes we just have the original.
And sometimes we just have the remake. So it's going to be a very confusing live stream. No, I don't think so. I think it'll be pretty simple to understand. Justin is here. Hello, Justin. Oh, Justin was here. Justin was here just a couple minutes ago, but I just didn't notice the emoticon. What else were we going to talk about? I was going to look at my notes here too a little bit. Oh, we should talk about this. You don't know what I'm going to talk about. The Universal Parade we saw yesterday. We saw a video of because in the U.S. here we have Universal Studios, and we saw the new Universal Studios Parade, which features a lot of in Orlando. Yeah. I don't know if they have one in California. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
If there's anybody from California here, you could let us know.
The Orlando version so far.
But it's on I forget, we watched a YouTube channel called Super Enthused.
Yeah.
And they go to the parks. And so a lot of times we'll watch these park videos or new videos or whatever. But the movie addict said, I thought of getting a couple $100 worth of movies, then telling the wife and watching the fireworks. There's there might be a lot of fireworks there.
Those fireworks would be pretty close to home.
Those would be very close to home. You'd have to, but it was fun to watch. So it's on the Super Enthused channel. I'm sure it's on other channels too, but
yeah, but they have a good video.
But they have a really good video. So check that out. Super Enthused is the name of the YouTube channel, which we love. And they go to the parks and but it features all of the movies, which this is the first time I've ever seen a Universal parade. And of course they had E.T. and then they had Ghostbusters, and of course all the music that's accompanying those films go along with the floats, right?
Yeah.
And the last float was Jurassic Park, which we love.
Yeah.
And then they had a Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws.
They had a Jaws float. And I thought it was really funny. If you watch the video, this might be one reason we're going to maybe go to Orlando at some point. But if you, there were a couple of actors playing the Chief Brody and the mayor. So the mayor would come out to the crowd and say,
Are you going to
Nothing.
go swimming? Or
Are you going to go
to the
swim? Yeah.
beach,
Why
or-
aren't you going to the beach? Go swimming. You know, what's happening? And then the chief would be like, no, you can't. There's sharks in the water. Be careful. You know. So it was really interesting that they were doing that.
Yeah.
And then of course I didn't see Hooper. I didn't see the character
I
of
didn't see
Hooper,
him, no.
but you see Quint on the float,
On the
and of course the
yeah.
shark too.
Well, because part of the float has like the shark cage, so I think it's like assumed that like Hooper's in the water.
Oh, maybe it would have been nice if they had a Hooper character. I think the Hooper character could have been out in the parade with everyone else, but
they had they had a Back to the Future float.
The
and,
Back
like,
to the Future
people were
float, yeah.
riding like hoverboards in the front. And,
Yeah.
And then with the ET float, the people in the front of the float were like riding bikes because they ride bikes in that movie.
they had the clock too on the Back to the Future
of it, yeah.
float. They had those
clock
clocks and
tower,
stuff.
yeah, like the car was
Yeah.
driving through the clock tower.
So that was really interesting. We watched that, and because we watch a lot of YouTube, we watch a lot of cruise videos too. I know if Wayne was here, he would know if he watches this on replay. We watch a lot of cruise videos, but views.
Wayne might be on a cruise now, isn't he?
Wayne could be on a cruise now. I don't know.
I think he might be.
But we're going to get into the topic today too, and of course, you can always ask any questions. You can suggest a topic for a future live stream. I think we may be running out of topics, but I guess you never run out of topics. But I mean, we've covered a lot of topics so far.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about film remakes, and also I'm going to talk a little bit about the Criterion sale. There's also a Kino sale going on right now. I didn't pull any Kinos, but maybe next week I'll do that because I think these sales go on for most of the month, so we'll have some time to do that. But I do have some Criterions here.
Does like the Prime Day sale usually have movie deals or not really?
Yeah, I think they do. But I haven't really found that the movie deals are that good for Amazon Prime. Maybe I'm wrong, but
that's not this coming week. It's next week.
I think it starts next week. I think it starts next week.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like the 16th, right? So that's next week, not this week.
Yeah, I think so. I was going to talk about one Criterion that I pulled this morning that I thought this is one of the first Criterions I picked up. I think because I'm always going back to the ones I first got. This is one of the first ones I got. If you're interested in Federico Fellini, this is the first one that I watched. It may not be the best one to watch first, but I really like this one. It's the first one I think I saw from Fellini. And sometimes, when you're introduced to a new director, you never know which one you're going to stumble upon. And this is one of the ones I did. And I really like this a lot. I think it's a great film. And this is this is one of the first Blu-rays I picked up. It's got a lot of extra features on it. You can still get it. It's a movie from 1963. And Marcello Mastroianni, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this right, plays Guido Anselmi, a director whose new project is collapsing around him along with his life. But it's kind of a meta film about filmmaking. And so it's really interesting. I love this one. Trying to avoid the glare on the screen here. Skulder is here. Hello, Skulder. We're just talking about lots of different things. We're going to talk about film remakes, but we're also showing a few Criterions as well. And I just did a video this last week of some of the Criterions that I watch over and over again that are an inspiration to me. And the Fellini box set, the Movie Addict set, I just ordered the Fellini box set, which is a great way to get into Fellini. But this is the first one that I watched, and I didn't have a lot of the separate Fellini films, so it was nice to get the box set. If you don't have a lot of, I think that's why we're hoping for the Kurosawa box set. I would say. Yeah. Because I don't have a lot. I mean, I have a few Kurosawa films, but it'd be nice to get a box set there. So that's not a remake, by the way.
No, it's not a remake.
But I thought I'd mention that one first. And I've got some other Criterions. Which one should we talk about first? Let me know if you can guess which ones I have, because I have a stack here. We've been doing this every week. But if you can guess which one, if you can guess one in the beginning here of a remake.
Guess the remake.
Guess the remake is what we're playing today, I guess. And hopefully the stack won't fall over the ones the ones that we do. While we do that, I think we'll guess the first one and maybe the last one. But for anyone in the UK, also I heard some news this week that Tubi is launching in the UK, and Tubi is something we really like, or I really like here in the US. I think there's probably other people that like it too, but lots of great free stuff on there, and the commercials are not too intense. But if you're in the UK, let me know if you've heard that news, and if you're interested in that. That's just another service that I don't have King Kong, the movie addict, but that is a good one. King Kong. There's been a lot of Let's see, but I do have. Got to be careful. I don't get too close to the microphone here. I'm very close to it. I don't want to knock it over, but The Thing. Yeah, The Thing. Modesty Blaze, good one. The Thing. I have the 4K. This is one of the. This is another one of the movies that I've bought over and over again.
We just
The
watched
Thing.
that last week.
We just watched it last week. Yeah. The 4K. Almost slipped out there. There's the back of that one. So I have this in 4K, but I have a bunch of versions of this one, and this one's got the Thing. Terror Takes Shape and some outtakes. A feature commentary with the director John. Anytime I can listen to John Carpenter talk on a commentary, I just love it. I highly recommend it. Like the Halloween commentary is really good, but I'm already going to say that this is, I know we haven't really talked too much about horror movies, but I'm going to say this is definitely in my top 3 horror movies for the 1980s, right? This is 1982. So, but this has got to be top for me. This is in the top 3 for me. And of course, here's the original one, the Warner Archive original version of Howard Hawks' The Thing, which is also very good. James Arness as The Thing. And there's the back of that one. And these Warner Archive releases are great too. Modesty Blaze said, my husband's favorite horror film. I would have to say, I was really thinking as we were watching it for the umpteenth time, that it's probably one of my favorite all-time horror movies also. Little Shop of Horrors, I didn't pick that one, but I do. That's a good one. Modesty Blaze said the Tubi app arrived this week. Let me know what you think of that too, because we like Tubi, Pluto TV, Roku TV. We've been watching a lot of the free services lately, because if we're gonna pay for ads on other services, why not just watch the free one?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the movies could be edited, but I mean, we've been really still enjoying the Universal Monsters channel on Roku TV, which has been fun. But Tubi's got a lot of great stuff on it, and even if you just use it to preview things, I think it's worth it.
Well, we just watched Tubi the other night, and it does have a lot of the same stuff that the Roku TV and the Pluto TV have, but it's nice that if you don't have access to all 3, at least you know that Tubi has a lot of good stuff on it.
Yeah, Andrew said many people are picking things I don't have in the stack today. Ocean's 11, which I don't think we have I've seen the new ones, and I'm sure I've probably seen the older one, the early one. Yeah, I don't think we have those, but A Star Is Born also, which I never saw the new one. Let me know what you think of the new one. If you saw A Star Is Born, I'm sure I saw the old one, but it's been so many years since I've seen that. Wow, everybody's doing great. Everybody's doing great today because they're picking things that are not in the stack. I have this whole full stack here. I guess there's been a lot of remakes, right?
Who's in the previous version of A Star Is Born?
I thought it's Judy Garland, right? Yeah.
There must be more.
I think it's Judy Garland.
I think there's more than 2.
Excelsior Movie Reviews is here. By the way, Excelsior Movie Reviews has a great channel too, so check that out. I know we've all been enjoying the Criterion sale. The Color Purple, Bridget said, that's a great one. That's not in my stack. I've got a large stack of movies over here, but everybody's picking things not in here yet.
There are 4 versions of A Star Is Born.
Yeah. Tubi might be useful. Streaming, this is a great idea, right? Streaming for discovery, disc for keeps. As long as there's no disc rot, or you still have a Blu-ray player or a DVD player or an all-region player, whatever you have. But Excelsior Movie Review said, I need to give 8.5 a rewatch, and I've been told that La Strada is a better starter film for Fellini. This is a great topic too, starter films. And sometimes I stumble upon a director that I haven't encountered before for whatever reason, and I think that was the case with Fellini. And I watched 8.5 and really liked it, so that really got me into all the films. I did the same thing with Kaurismäki too, and probably Abbas Kiarostami, where I watched a film and then I thought I need to see all of the films now because. But with Kaurismäki, I was watching La Havre on the Criterion channel, which is another great place to preview things. And then I was all in on the films. Then I started watching all the films. I got the box set, the Regent Brie, box set for that.
I put that on the list for live stream.
Oh, that's good.
Well, because I think that you could highlight different directors, and then you could suggest why a specific film would be a good starting point. Because like you could say, some could say 8.5 is good, other people could say La Strada is good. But if you talk
starting
about
points,
like what happens in each film, maybe one is better for certain viewers and the other is better for other viewers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not an expert in that either, but I think when I was getting into Tarkovsky, I went to the BFI website, the British Film Institute website, and they have a good, and I think they still have articles too. If you're interested in starting off with a director, I think they have great articles that tell you should start with this one, and you should,
But yeah, because I mean, even if you think about like Steven Spielberg, I know a lot of people have watched Spielberg's films, but if you start with like Close Encounters or Jaws, they're a little more character focused than like Jurassic Park.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So if you watch Jurassic Park and it's a little more exciting, you might watch Jaws or Close Encounters and be like, this is good, but it's not like as blockbustery as I was expecting.
Yeah, very true. I mean, and with Spielberg, it's tough to decide. I like to start with the early ones if I can, but Jim's Movie Channel is here. Hello. Jim's Movie Channel says, I hope you and everyone are having a good weekend. I hope everyone's having a great weekend too, by the way. Maddie says, checking in, good afternoon. Haven't picked up any Criterion. I've been too busy being underwhelmed by the Vinegar Syndrome subscriber week sale, which I haven't really checked out too much. And bought a Ringo Lam movie and might get an Uli Lommel movie. Skulder said, I heard Tubi UK has less than half of the content that US has. That'll be interesting to see. So let us know too, for anyone, if you're looking at Tubi, let us know if, what you think of it. But it sounds like if it has less content. I find sometimes when we're searching for a movie, though, it's nice to be able to see it on a free streaming service, and then if we like the movie, we usually pick it up. Like with Tremors, for example, which we still need to get. I don't know if I'm going to get the 4K for that, though. I don't know. Well, and Brian is here too, by the way. Brian, happy Saturday to you and everyone that's here. We're talking about film remakes today, among other things. But
I think Tremors was a unique experience because it's not streaming anywhere, but the Universal Monsters channel on Roku TV when it happens to cycle through their programming.
Yeah.
So we probably wouldn't have purchased, because it's not exactly super affordable physically, right? So we probably wouldn't have seen that film if we didn't see it on the channel.
True. Yeah, very true. Yeah, very true. Evil Dead Blake is here. Hello. Modesty Blake said, one of your recommendations, which we recently watched and enjoyed a lot, Sorcerer, which is a remake too, which it really is a remake of Wages of Fear, but I think William Friedkin had some issues with that. I saw him in some interviews saying that he did not want the film necessarily be known as a remake. I think he would always talk about it having the same themes, but it's clearly a remake of that movie. Evil Dead Blake says, hot take, I know Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 are my favorite, are two of my favorite horror films too. Oh, that's right. Those are remakes as well, the Rob Zombie remakes.
I think I liked the first.
I like the first one, yeah.
I think I had some issues with it, but overall I did like the update that they added to the Halloween story. I thought I thought it was. But it's been a while since I've seen it.
I haven't seen that. We have those too, but The Departed, yeah. That's a good one. I don't have those in my stack. Look at the large stack. I guess there's been a lot of remakes. That's the one thing we're learning. I think the one thing I learned too, getting ready for this live stream today too, is that there's only one remake I'm going to show today that I didn't, or I don't even have the remake of it. I have the original of it that I didn't like. There's only one I'm going to mention today.
Yeah.
If anybody can guess it. If anyone can guess what that is. There's a remake that I don't think should have been remade. Cape Fear is a good one, which is great. I have the Scorsese one of that one, but Maddie says, I think the Rob Zombie's director's cut of Halloween 2 far exceeds Halloween 1. So there's a lot to be said for remake. It's nice when they do a remake. I noticed that since it's over the holiday weekend too, I'm glad nobody remade Jaws. I'm glad that stayed as a speaking of Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Which, if I was going to say Spielberg, I would still start with some of the earlier movies. Like I was going to even say start with the Columbo episode that he directed.
Yeah, but I feel like that's such like a Spielberg tangent that like you don't really.
I would start with that.
We watched that Criterion Closet video.
Yeah.
Where they were talking about how they watched was it Bottle Rockets?
Oh, yeah.
It's like an early Wes Anderson, and so like you kind of have to be like versed in their later works to see the pattern that they were building.
I guess whatever movie you connect with for that director or that actor or performer, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I just feel like it's sometimes I think Andrew mentioned that, if Andrew is still with us too, Andrew mentioned this one, which is the original of Solaris, which might not be an easy film to start with for Tarkovsky, or maybe it is. I don't know. I started with Stalker, and I did a whole series of videos on these too, but I think Solaris is in the top 3 to start with because it's a little bit easier to understand. But of course, Tarkovsky could watch over and over again. But this is also another one for the Criterion sale too, from 1972.
Yeah,
Solaris, and of course, there was a remake of this one, which I don't have, with George Clooney, right?
Right.
Maddie said, "Which A Star Is Born?" You go. I like the original, but I like the original Star Is Born.
Like the
The
original.
original Star Is Born. That would be my, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's the back of that one. And this is a good one. If you're interested in starting with Tarkovsky, this would probably be a good one along with Stalker. But Stalker maybe is a little bit. But anyway, there's that one. That's a remake. Let's see if I missed any. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake is an abomination.
I didn't see that.
Haven't seen that. The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler's remake. That's true. That's true.
You missed a couple up.
Did I miss a couple? Did I?
Under
All the
Jim's
Disney.
Channel comments. I think that's kind of.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Modesty Blaze, of course, getting all the answers right today. Scarface. Where did I put Scarface? Oh, here's Scarface right here. Yeah, here's the original Scarface, the Howard Hawks Scarface.
Oh, this is a Howard Hawks remake as well.
Yeah, so everybody's remaking Howard Hawks, I guess. And then of course the classic Robert De Palma Scarface, which I love. So that's a good remake. Good guess. We can whittle down the stack a little bit further, I suppose. Dawn of the Dead, which I didn't pull, but I like the original Dawn of the Dead, I think, a little bit better. But the remake is okay. 310 to Yuma, Sculder said. I just pulled that one too. Yeah.
Sculder also said Cape Fear.
Cape Fear, right? Yeah. Here's the original 310 to Yuma, and I think I have I didn't pull it today, but I think I have the remake as well. I like the remake. I thought the remake was good for that. I haven't seen. Brian said the remake of Night of the Living Dead is an interesting take. I haven't seen that. That's a good one to add, probably too. Anyway, if you're interested in the Criterion sale, this one is available. 1957. Some new interviews on that one. Nightmare Alley and You've Got Mail. Oh, that's right. You've Got Mail is a remake of what am I forgetting? A remake. Shop Around the Corner. Thank you. Flubber, the Flubber remake of The Absent-Minded Professor. What?
Sorry, I read that. I read that as Nightmare Alley and You've Got Mail are remakes of each other, and that's not what that says.
Okay. Oh, Nightmare. Yeah, that's right. Nightmare. Spielberg, Triple J said Spielberg's West Side Story, which is a great one.
But is that like a Romeo and Juliet situation, or is that like there was an original West Side Story?
There is an original West Side Story, yeah.
Well, I didn't see it.
We saw that. That's the Stephen Sondheim participated in that. There's the actor from Twin Peaks in that.
I saw that. Yeah. I didn't see.
We didn't. We haven't.
The remake is like the new. I thought
the new one is the remake.
I thought there was an older remake.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Matty K said, I have the Scarface DVD briefcase. I wish I had that. That came with De Palma's and the original movie. That's another movie that I bought over and over again. Sculder said Flubber, which we just said is a remake of The Absent-Minded Professor. I think I would agree with this. The American remake's not as good. Foreign films are pretty bad. I would generally agree with that. A Fistful of Dollars is a good remake, but it is a switch from the Japanese samurai to American West. Very true. Maddie said, if you want a good lightly sleazy Eyes Without a Face remake, Jess Franco's Faceless is worth checking out. That's interesting. Assault on Precinct 13, which I like the original, and that's one that we saw. I'm not saying
part of it.
Yeah, we saw part of it, but I mean, I've seen it before, years ago, but we saw it again, the John Carpenter one.
Yeah.
A lot of great picks here too, by the way. But still, I have a stack of things. So I guess there's been a lot of remakes, is what we.
Well, I felt that way because you were like, oh, can you help me pull some titles from the
Everything's
collection?
a remake.
And I pulled like 3 titles, and you're like, okay, that's enough. And I was like, what? I just got started.
Yeah, good recommendation from Skulder. Also, I like both. Maybe I need to see the 2005 one. I'll have to check that out. But of course, I love John Carpenter. So one that I didn't pull the remake, which I don't think we have the remake. But let me know what you think of this one. This is one of my favorite movies from the 70s, 1974. The Taking Pelham 1, 2, 3, and of course there was a remake of this one. But I just love this Kino release. I know there's a 4K. I'm not going to probably upgrade, but this is. I love the music in this one. There's an interview with composer David Shire, audio commentaries, etc. from this. There's that one. But I don't think we saw maybe I saw the remake. I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
With Denzel Washington, but I don't know.
You picked up the remake, and then I don't know where it went.
I'm glad Jim's Movie Channel mentioned The Fly, right? Because we have this one.
Yeah.
By the way, if you don't, I don't know if this is still available, but I love this Fly collection box set, which has the Fly, Return of the Fly, The Curse of the Fly, and then The Fly and The Fly 2.
Yeah, you can still buy it.
You can still get it?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Jim's Movie Channel said the original Pelham 1, 2, 3 is superior in every way. So that's a good endorsement, and maybe why we didn't necessarily like the other one. I love the artwork on this too.
The Fly collection is still on deep discount.
Okay. But if you don't have this is great. Of course, Vincent Price in The Fly.
And
this is a great box set.
And you can still get it from Shout Factory Direct.
From Shout Factory Direct? Okay.
Oh. The limited edition lithograph sold out. But you can still get the
Is that this one though?
You can still get the box
limited
set.
edition, yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
These are all Scream Factory releases, but yeah. Okay. Very nice. Skulder said Bedazzled from 2000, which that sounds familiar, but TV shows that were remade. This might be a whole other topic, right? Oh boy, Modesty. You know what? Modesty Blaze really has all the answers. I don't know. I don't know how they get the answer to the tests early on, but there's no test here, by the way. But Brian said TV shows that were kind of remade as films, like Miami Vice, which we have, to the Michael Mann film Miami Vice and Equalizer, which I haven't seen the Equalizer films.
And Ipcress Files.
Ipcress Files, right? Exactly. Dune. I guess we should talk about Dune. We have that, right? Yeah. Dune. There's the original Dune, which a lot of people don't necessarily like, but what I've seen of it, I like. Of course, I love David Lynch. And then now your stack's getting bigger over there because I'm moving, movies over there. And then here's the remake. But I like both of them. I don't know. The remake is really good, though. The remake is very good, right? Dune Part 1 and Part 2.
We haven't seen Part 2 yet.
We really have to dedicate 3 hours of. As long as we're talking a little bit about Dune, I don't know what reminded me of this, but we were watching Aliens last night because I was trying to decide whether I'm going to upgrade to the 4K, which I don't think I'm going to do. But I could not believe last night we were watching Aliens, which I have a copy of on Blu-ray. We were watching on Disney Plus last night.
Or Hulu or whatever.
Was it on Hulu or Disney Plus? I don't know.
I mean, they're kind of
everything's combined now. There were so many flashes in that movie. I had to cover my eyes last night for that because it was so. I was doing this during the movie. I was doing this during the movie. I was covering my eyes because it was flash. I don't think they put any warnings on that either.
I didn't see
that we could see, like strobe lights, because of all the second hour. It's just all flashing at you. But anyway.
Yeah.
Modesty Blaze said I prefer the original Dune, so that's interesting. I need to
see the,
check that out. Oh, Breathless also. Oh, sorry. I need to go back a little bit.
The
Did we mention Dune?
Yeah.
Where do we land on the All Quiet on the Western Front remake? Which I haven't seen the remake, but I do like the original of that movie. But I'm not usually watching a lot of war films, but Breathless from 1983. What?
I think we started All Quiet on the Western Front, the remake,
the new one, yeah,
and it looked very good. But I don't think we were ready for that kind of content.
Yeah. Like you have to be in the, you've got to be in the mood for those, right? But I do like the new All Quiet on the Western, or I like the old one. I'm sorry. Maddie K said the Mission Impossible franchise too, of course, and there was a with the movies and then the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't realize. I'm glad, Movie Addict. I'm glad you mentioned this too, because we were just talking about It Happened One Night, but I didn't realize that was the case with It Happened One Night. Here's It Happened One Night, which is another great one from the for the Criterion sale. This is also on the Criterion channel this month, because they've got screwball comedies on the Criterion channel. Hall & Oates is here too. Hello. It Happened One Night from 1934. A lot of great interviews on this too. Frank Capra, of course. 1921 short film. So that's a great one too, and still one you can get from the Criterion channel. There's a little bit of something on that.
Oh, there's those
plastic.
Yeah. Got
it. Flashing lights in films. I guess I'm. I don't think it bothered me when I saw when I saw Aliens years ago. When I went to see it in the theater, it probably didn't bother me. Now it kind of bothers me. But
I think it's not necessarily a thing that bothers you all the time. I think it was in Aliens. It's very frequent, so it's hard to say, oh, this is flashing for a few seconds and then move on. It would flash and then it would stop, and then there'd be more flashing and then it would stop. And it went on for a long time. Yeah,
that's very true. Brewster's Millions, I haven't seen that. Has been remade 12 times.
It's been remade 12 times. You've never seen a single version.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah. different version.
Last House on the Left. I think we saw.
We have the
remake.
We saw the remake and the original. I remember the original.
I don't know that we watched the original together though.
Hall & Oates said All Quiet on the Western Front from 2030 and 2022 are both great. 1930 is my favorite. I think I like the original too. Oh yeah, The Birdcage. That's the Mike Nichols remake of La Cage aux Folles from 1978. Hello, Mike D's collection. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you and everyone else here too. We're having a lot of fun here talking about movie remake or film remakes. Jim's Movie Channel said Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which now we're starting to get some in the stack, see, which is nice. Here's the original. By the way, this one, here's the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which Olive Signature Films, I think, they're out of business, but they moved a lot of their catalog to another company that I can't think of right now. But these are, before they went out of business, once they announced that, this is one I picked up right away because it had been on my list for a while, and I love this presentation. I love this. Though I don't know if you can see this. I'll just hold it up a little closer, maybe to the camera. You can see all the extra features on this one. I love this one. But I think I'm going to say I like this one more. I would agree with Jim's Movie Channel. I like this one a little bit more, and this is the Screen Factory release of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, with, of course, Donald Sutherland, Jeff Goldblum, Leonard Nimoy, Brooke Adams, Veronica Cartwright, who's also an alien, by the way, the original Alien. This is a great release, and of course, very sad news about Donald Sutherland, but this is one of my favorites that he's in. One of my favorite movies from the 70s, too. This movie, 1978. Great one.
We only have, this is the last one.
Oh, right. Oh, you're right. I guess we do. No, we have these are the remakes we got.
Oh, we did. Oh,
yeah, we have a few more.
Done this yet. I just moved them, so I lost them.
But there's been a lot of remakes, I guess, is what we can tell.
Yeah.
Maddie said, "Watch out for 4DX movies because they add extra bright lights when you get poked, shuffled, and misted. Extra lights.
Extra lights.
I don't know. It's a little tough for me to watch those movies, I guess. I don't know. Hall & Oates. That's a great one. Hall & Oates, The Blob. The Blob remake, which I like the original of The Blob. A little trivia here too. When I was in college, I took a course with the screenwriter for The Blob, so that was interesting. Her name was Kate Phillips, but I think she used a different screen name. She was in movies too, but she was teaching a screenwriting class too. But The Blob, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I never saw the remake on that. I've seen the original. Have you seen the original of The Blob?
Maybe
we have it. We have the Criterion, so there's a Criterion release of that
too. Did you
too.
see the Force Awakens New Hope?
Did I miss that? Where did I go? Oh yeah. The Force Awakens. Really? Do a lot of people say The Force Awakens is really a remake of A New Hope?
I mean, it kind of is.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, it kind of is. I think because we watched them kind of close together, and they do have very similar beginnings.
True. Very true. Brian said lots of horror icons have tons of remakes. I like Hammer's Curse of Frankenstein, which we've been watching so many horror. Why are we watching horror films? It's only July, but we're really enjoying it. I was thinking, you can watch films whenever you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to wait till Halloween to watch a film. Watch whenever you want.
Yeah.
We're having fun watching them now because we just found the channel on Roku TV.
I'm
right?
sure a lot of people are watching Christmas movies right now.
Oh, Christmas in July, right?
A lot of people
what should we talk about? Also, I'll ask the chat too. What should we talk about next week? Let us know what we should talk about. The Cat and the Canary has 3 remakes, which I haven't seen that movie. There's a 90s Body Snatchers movie, which I haven't seen. Columbia just announced from Triple J another 4K box set with All the King's Men, On the Waterfront, A Man for All Seasons, Tootsie, Age of It. I saw this. This looks really good too. And I have a lot of these movies, but it's interesting to get everything in a box set. I think for right now, I've been getting just individual films. I haven't really gotten too many box sets.
Box sets are fun if they package the movies in their own cases. Because sometimes box sets the packaging is fancy.
Oh yeah, and you get maybe you get extra features too. There's lots of stuff there. Modesty Blaze said, "I like the '50s remake of The Man Who Knew Too Much with Jimmy Stewart." Right, of course there was an original one because Hitchcock redid it, right? But the '50s remake is good. Mike said, "Death Takes a Holiday" from 1934 and its remake Meet Joe Black, which I haven't seen those. Those are great. I'm glad everyone's picking things that we don't have. There's been so many remakes. I think that's the thing we learned this week. The Jackal, 1997 remake of The Day of the Jackal, which is another good one. A few remakes of Little Women.
That's true.
That's good. That's a good one too, which we have those. I think we have the original.
More than one? I thought we just had one.
Oh, this is a good. Brian said, A New Hope borrows a lot from Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress. Very, very true there.
True.
Yeah.
Also, doesn't it sort of borrow from
Dune? Doesn't it borrow from Dune? Also, yeah, the original Dune. I don't know. Well, the books, I guess, right? Because Dune was made. It
doesn't borrow from the film adaptation
as the books.
The books, yeah.
Oh no!
Did that
we got a little dimming of the light.
Well, was it that one too, or
was it this one? Do we have dimming of the light? There's a little. I don't know. What are we? Were we talking about A New Hope or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because this light has been a little wonky.
Has it?
But if it was both lights, then that could have been a power thing.
I don't know. It's so hot here too now today. I mean, we kind of have this a little bit more of a humid weather here.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, if what was that?
I think somebody sneezed.
There's a lot of noises today too.
Might have to turn this light off.
Oh, you want me to turn this one on? Let's see. How's that?
I don't think it really changed.
It doesn't really matter. I don't know. No, it doesn't. Okay. But
I think the light is just.
You think the light was just doing that? The light's giving us a signal.
I was doing that the other day too.
Meet Joe Black, the remake. Funny Games, also that's a remake, which I don't have the Criterion for that one. I've seen that, I think, on the Criterion channel. Death Wish 2018, I haven't seen that. This is interesting. Mike said The Money Pit was a remake of Mr. Blanding's Builds His Dream House until Warner Archive put out the Blu-ray, which I have a DVD of that, which I've been wanting to upgrade at some point too.
I like The Money Pit.
The Money Pit is good, yeah. I love that scene where Tom Hanks is just laughing. That the famous laugh through the hole in the floor. Isn't that funny?
Falls through the floor.
The bathtub falls to the floor. That's like one of the best laughs.
Yeah.
And
they've been bringing water from the kitchen. They're warming up the water in the kitchen. They bring it upstairs to fill up the bathtub, and then they pour one more bucket in the bathtub, and the bathtub floats right.
And then he laughs.
And he laughs.
That is, I think that's got to be one of the greatest laughs in movies.
Yeah.
Have we talked about that? Isn't there that new clip that was being shared this week with an AI version of Tom Hanks? I think. Right?
Yeah, they I
because
don't know if it's like AI.
I don't know if it's AI, but they
aging like Tom Hanks and Robin Wright.
Yeah.
Right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So is that kind of like what they did in The Irishman?
I guess so, but
not
it is a little distracting in The Irishman.
But it seems like it's very distracting in this.
I don't know if that's going to become. I guess it's going to become more commonplace for people to be de-aged. Really I'm not a fan either. It just looked really fake to me.
It's okay if it's like for a short time. Like, didn't they do that in the new Indiana Jones movie?
Yeah, but even that,
telling like flashbacks or something, but it wasn't like he was on screen for like a long time. Like, if the main character is going to be like de-aged the whole time, I think it can be. That's going to be distracting.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we watched the beginning of the new Indiana Jones movie, and it seemed okay, but still, I because we've read so many stories about how the process is done, it's very distracting. I feel like.
Yeah.
The 10 Commandments was remade by the same director. The movie I had mentioned. A Perfect Murder was a remake of Dial M for Murder, which is great. Evil Dead Blake said, "I really love the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds." I also do, and that's one of the other ones in the stack here. Well, here's the original War of the Worlds. If you're interested in the Criterion sale too, this is a great one. Triple J said, "Just got home and my Chinatown 4K arrived."
Ooh.
I still have a DVD.
Yeah.
For Chinatown. I need to upgrade that.
I've had to watch Chinatown too many times.
And Mike actually hit on it, but I'm gonna get to it in a minute. War of the Worlds, the original, which is one of the first movies I remember seeing as a kid on TV, and I really, really like it. I'm so happy Criterion put it out. This movie from 1953. I just remember watching this movie, or it was on TV a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the remake, which I think Tom Cruise does a great job in that. I'm not always the biggest fan of Tom Cruise, but I thought he was great in War of the Worlds. I thought he was really good in this. I really like this. I like this remake, and it's a Spielberg film too. Maybe we should talk about Spielberg films next week.
We could.
Let us know.
Our collection's a little lopsided, but yeah.
Let us know if you want us to talk about maybe a specific director too. We could do that. We're keeping a list of topics, but if you think of something for next week, otherwise we'll come up with a topic. But if you think of something you want to suggest it, we can certainly talk about it. And Brent is here. Hello, Brent. I'm glad that. Let me go back here for a second. The Psycho remake, I did not like at all. But here's the original, and I don't think they should have remade Psycho. That's my hot take for today. I don't think they should have remade Psycho. As much as I like the director, as much as I really like the director, I really like Vince Vaughn, I like the actors and the performance. I don't think they should have done a shot-for-shot remake of this movie. This is a classic. It's brilliant, and I don't think it was necessary. But that's my hot take for today. And of course, there's a great documentary about the shower scene too that you can pick up. So that's a great one. Who mentioned that? Mike D. Thank you for mentioning that. That's a great one. I've got a few more Criterions left. I've got a couple more remakes. Did I miss something?
No, but this isn't a remake, but did you see the stills for the Gladiator 2?
Gladiator 2?
Yeah.
Really? There's going to be a Gladiator 2?
Yeah, I saw it on Pedro Pascal's Instagram.
Is he going to be in it?
He's going to be in it.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I'll see it.
Well, because I was thinking of, I don't know why I don't know. I guess I was thinking of Ben-Hur, and then it makes me think of Spartacus, and then does Spartacus have a remake? No, but then Gladiator, and then I got on to Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 2.
That's how my brain works, I guess.
Gladiator 2. All right. I hadn't heard that, so I'm glad you brought that up. But there's so many remakes, I guess, is what we're finding. Yeah, Maddie K said also the Man Who Knew Too Much too. I'm just trying to catch up here. Father of the Bride has a couple of remakes too. I like the original Father of the Bride too. That was a good one. Evil Dead Blake said they ordered the Wong Kar-wai set, which I still need to get. I don't have that one. Brent said just watched the great film from last year, not a remake, but a great film, Bonel's the Beast, to recommend. I'm glad. I love all the recommendations too. Keep the recommendations coming because I love all the recommendations. It's amazing. La Femme Nikita has a couple of remakes which I haven't seen. Ben-Hur is a remake of the original one from the 20s. I've only seen, I think, the first. I've only seen the remake on that. Evil Dead Blake said, I actually saw the Psycho remake first and loved it, then later watched the original. I thought, oh yeah, the remake really wasn't nearly as good. I think it's just hard to really remake something like a classic like, Psycho from 1960. I think that's a hard thing to do. I mean, interesting that they did it, shot for shot, but
yeah.
Suspiria was really good. There was a remake of that. Mike said, I agree about the Psycho remake. I do own it to complete my Psycho collection. Mike is a completist. Like me, I strive to be a completist because I think when I see a comment like this too, it's like, I got to get that. Even though I didn't like it, got to get it because it's had all the Psycho films. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake from 2003. I haven't seen that. Gangster films, Modesty Blaze. Should we do gangster films next week?
I put it on the list.
Gangster films. Okay. We'll have to think about that.
Consider it.
Yeah. That's definitely one. I mean, we talked about spy. We did spy films. We did summer films. We did road pictures. Willy Wonka. I did not like the Willy Wonka remake, right? The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I like the original on that.
Yeah, I like the original.
I mean, again, these are just opinions, right? Whatever you like.
I'm not saying one is necessarily better than the other, just highlighting the fact that these things exist.
Yeah. Triple J said Ridley Scott directing the Gladiator sequel with Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, and Denzel Washington. Okay, I guess I got to see that then. Yeah. I didn't know that was that's a great bit of news there.
I've seen Gladiator, so I'm gonna have to watch that.
We have to watch the original one first.
That's right.
I've seen the original Gladiator, which I like. Flatliners from 2017, Flight of the Phoenix, also a remake, which we talked about in the.
Yeah, we forgot to pull that one.
Yeah, which one did we talk about that in? Did we talk about that in the
survival films?
Survival films, yeah. So maybe we'll do gangster films. Movie category idea from Brent: films about making films.
All right, put on the list.
All right, films about making films. Are you talking about Brent? Are you talking about like the Sidney Lumet documentary where he's talking about making? Is it more of a documentary style, type of thing?
Films about films.
Films about films. Yojimbo was a remake of A Fistful of Dollars, very true, but also Walter Hill remade it as Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis and the Ry Cooder soundtrack. I love the Ry Cooder soundtrack, which Ry Cooder did the soundtrack for Paris, Texas, one of my favorite movies too. The Heartbreak Kid, Skalder mentioned, which I like the remake of the Heartbreak Kid.
The 2007 version.
Is that the Ben Stiller one, right? Isn't it?
Well, yeah, this isn't the original. Like
I thought there was another one. There's another one with that Elaine May did, right?
Yeah, the 2007 one is with Ben Stiller.
With Ben Stiller, but then I think Elaine May also did that.
The 1972.
Oh, Triple J said in a couple of weeks we should start having sports films. I think that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Sports films. We got to write that down.
Because of the Olympics.
Yeah, sports film. That's a great topic also. Mike said I did pick up Criterion's release of the Peeping Tom. So far, my only Criterion pickup. I did. I haven't mentioned this. This is my only. Well, this is one of my Criterion pickups so far. I'm going to do a whole haul video on the channel for this, but this is one I saw on the channel last week, and I really liked it. And it's this one, Betty Blue, which I hadn't seen before. But I thought the you and I both watched a little bit of this one too, right? I haven't seen the whole thing, but
sorry, I got distracted.
Is there some strange weather out there? Oh, it's raining. It's like pouring rain out here. What is going on? Oh man. I love the sun-baked French beach town. So I thought this was really great. I thought that's where they're painting houses. Yeah.
I think they paint the house.
Yeah. So anyway, this is one of the ones I didn't have. I saw it on the Criterion channel, and I thought I'd pick it up. From 1986, so you can still get that one too from the Criterion.
Oh, we forgot Jumanji is also a remake.
Jumanji is a remake. That's true. I didn't realize Paws of Fury is a Blazing Saddles remake. Gone in 60 Seconds, Bound also. The Heartbreak Kid. Maniac remake was also very good. Elijah Wood is great in horror films. So we have maybe gangster films next week, or maybe sports films.
Or films about films.
Films about films. So those are the three. We'll pick one of those. Brent said, to clarify, I think this helps. The Player, for example, films about films. The Player, Day for Night adaptation, which I just recently watched that.
So
I'd say within the last month.
8.5 count?
8.5, I suppose, would count for that. Yeah.
Or the new Bergman Island film.
Movies about camping. That'd be good. Wes Anderson.
Camping.
Ernest Goes to Camp. Sleepaway Camp.
Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom. Yeah. I guess we're naming them all right now. We're giving. Those are all great topics. So we're keeping track of all these. We'll pick one of them, and we're not going to forget about the others too. We'll probably do the others at a certain time. But movies about camping, that'd be good. Journey to the Center of the Earth has a few remakes too. I like the original one. The movie I mentioned, Journey to the Center of the Earth, has a few remakes. Yeah, very true. Love that. Sculder said, "Here Comes Mr. Jordan," remade as Heaven Can Wait, which I love Heaven Can Wait. And I didn't realize Down to Earth was also a remake. Is that because there's not a lot of original ideas left? We have to remake everything?
I mean, I don't know, because there's a lot of films based on Shakespeare plays.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Very true.
Even like Anyone But You, that's based on
Anyone But You. Oh, you're right. It's
based on Much
Ado About Nothing, yeah. This was remade. I don't think they should have remade this one, but I haven't seen the remake on this one. Poltergeist, right?
I'm pretty sure they remade it, yeah.
Did they remake it?
I
guess they did, right? We'll have
I think they
to
did.
check that.
I'll check.
And I'm just going to show the last one. We usually go for about an hour here too, but if there's other questions or we're still chatting, we can keep going too.
Yeah, it was in 2015. Was in
2015. I like the original one.
Well, Sam Rockwell's in it. Yeah, we watched I think the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. There's a remake of His Girl Friday. Sculder said, I ordered 11 Criterion titles so far from Amazon. Still waiting some titles to be price matched with Barnes and Noble. Yeah, this is a good tip if you're interested. If you're getting into the Criterion collection or you're interested in getting the 50% off, you can go to Amazon. Sometimes they have it too. The Barnes and Noble that's close to us does not have a big stock, so we have to drive a little bit further to get things. But I did pick up a couple things that I'll mention.
Barnes and Noble is pretty good with online orders. Their shipping is pretty
Barnes and Noble is pretty good. At least they've been pretty good the last couple of years. Yeah.
But they ship them well, like in a nice box. They don't so far. Yeah,
Brent said, I'm always keeping my eye out for Journey to the Center of the Earth. I like the original on that. The Hills Have Eyes, The Time Machine. There's so many great ones. I think I only have one left here. Or no, I have two left. I have two left, and I have a couple more Criterions to show.
Well, I forgot that like The Shining doesn't technically have a remake like a film, but they did make it a miniseries, which was a little more accurate to the book.
Was that the one Stephen King liked a little bit more than the Kubrick version?
Yeah, but I like the Kubrick version better.
I like the Kubrick version, yeah. I think I did see that. Was that on TV though?
Yeah, it was on TV.
Yeah.
And one of the
I have a couple more to show here. I guess this was remade too. I like the original of this. We could do at some point when we get into the fall season, we can do like favorite Stephen King adaptations. There's so many of them, right?
Yeah.
Pet Sematary. I like the original, but I mean,
I don't think I've seen it at all.
You haven't seen the original one?
I think we watched the beginning of it.
And here's another Stephen King, right?
Yeah.
The It. It.
Yeah.
It, yeah.
Oh, the video glitched.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I hope we don't lose power. Might lose power. Let us know. If everyone's still with us, let us know. And then, of course, here's the original one, which we got which I think there's a Blu-ray out on this too, but we got this at Barnes & Noble. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Insomnia also. Insomnia, there's a remake of from 2002. So many great suggestions here too. The Hills Have Eyes, Freaky Friday, and The Parent Trap are both remade with Lindsay Lohan. Brent just clarified. I'm always keeping my eye out for the original Journey to the Center of the Earth on physical media, but it's difficult to find. I think there are some things that are really hard to find. You know, one movie that's really hard to find. Speaking of movies that are hard to find, the movie FM, which I have a physical media copy of, but it's a movie that Martin Mull was in, and it has a great soundtrack. But you can't get it. You can't stream it anywhere. You can still get it. Yeah,
you can't stream Tremors anywhere.
You can't stream Tremors anywhere either, except for on Roku TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Movie Addict said, I never saw Pet Sematary, but have been listening to the Ramones lately. Oh, I love that. Yeah, the Ramones.
Mm.
We should do something on music too. I don't know if that would be interesting to anyone, but I love music. The Italian Job, also from 2003.
That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
I mean, technically, aren't like a few James Bond films remade?
I think maybe Goldfinger, maybe, I don't know.
Didn't they do like Casino Royale twice?
Oh, that's right. Well, no, Casino Royale was an earlier film. There was an earlier film called Casino Royale, but it was a comedy film. More than it,
I mean, it says there's a 1967 version, but is that the one that's like?
But that's the one with I think Peter Sellers is in that. Speaking of Peter Sellers.
He's he's like the one.
How did we get like this random rainstorm too in the middle of the day? It's so humid here. That's why. Speaking of music too, this is a great one. This is one of the only 4Ks from Criterion that I have. I typically get Blu-rays, but The Last Waltz, the Scorsese film, is it Scorsese or Scorsese? I never know, but
I don't think he minds as long as you're consistent.
It's my favorite Marty film. Marty Scorsese. No, I think you have to know him personally to call him Marty, but from 1978. I love this movie. This is a great one. Not a remake, but a great film on 4K.
I don't remember what interview you were watching, but somebody referred to someone else as Jim, and it was like a little odd because you don't usually hear them referred to like that or something. I don't remember what you're watching though.
I do watch a lot of interviews.
Like sometimes when you watch interviews and they're talking about actors, but like you're used to hearing the actor's like full name, and then the person's like, "Oh yeah, that guy," and you're like, "Who are you talking about?"
Yeah,
because you're used to like they're like
you're used to because they're calling things. Yeah. The Bourne Identity. The Toy is a remake of the French film Jouet. The Bourne Identity is a great remake. The Bourne Identity. Is Emmylou Harris? I thought Emmylou Harris was in Last Waltz. I'm not sure. I can't remember now, but I love the Neil Diamond performance. I love the. I was trying to see if there's a Dylan performance. Joni Mitchell also I really like. Van Morrison, Muddy Waters, Neil Young. I'm not sure, but I remember Joni Mitchell singing a song called Coyote, which I really like a lot. But anyway, it's great. Shatner calls Leonard Nimoy Lenny in a few interviews. That's funny. Yeah, I do like the fact that Criterion includes both the 4K and the Blu-ray. So that's nice. If you want to get the 4K, you're going to have the Blu-ray. I usually check because sometimes the Blu-ray just has the extra features, but I think with Criterion you get it on a Blu-ray too.
Well, we like the David Lynch calls Kyle MacLachlan Kale.
Yeah, Kale, right from the Dune days, right?
You're right.
Right. Yeah. The Last House on the Left, yeah, which we talked about. The originals, 1972. Lady Killers, also. Isn't there a new I think there's a new Blu-ray of the Lady Killers coming out. That's also with Peter Sellers, right?
Right, and then Tom Hanks was in the 2004.
And Tom Hanks was in the remake of that one, yeah. I was watching I mentioned this in the vlog. By the way, we do a weekly vlog, which the next one's coming out. They come out on Mondays, and so you can kind of see in more detail what we're doing and what I'm watching day to day, because it's maybe a lot different than some of the other videos I'm doing. But I was talking about these Martin Mull interviews that I saw on the Carson show. I love watching interviews. Another topic for Jesse to write down. Movie adaptations.
Okay.
That's a good one. I'm not sure what we should pick, but we'll pick one of these of the list that we got today. So Little Shop of Horrors also, yeah, we talked about that one. I haven't seen the remake of Planet of the Apes. I like the new Planet of the Apes, not necessarily the. I like the original.
Well, you like
I like the original
because the new run of Planet of the Apes is kind of starts as like a prequel, right? So the newest one they just came out with is kind of like the remake of the first
of the original. So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is like the original of the. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
but I have very little knowledge of.
But I like I'm not sure that I like the Tim Burton remake. That's the one that I remember seeing. But
oh yeah, I guess
there's some pluses to it. But I do like the new one.
Right?
Yeah,
I like the James Franco one.
I like the James Franco one too.
Yeah, prequel vibe.
Yeah. Kino Lorber will be releasing The Lady Killers. By the way, also Kino Lorber just started a live stream. I don't know how often they're going to do it, but I really like the first one called Shelf Space. And you can see that on their channel. I think that's a really great thing to do. A great thing to watch. Because they usually have an executive to talk about kind of the negotiations that they're going through to get certain films released. And, that whole process is very interesting.
Sorry, I thought about, looking at this movie, I thought about another topic. We could, bingeable directors.
Bingeable directors. We can write that down. Did you already write that down?
Right?
Oh, yeah, right.
This director, we kind of did that too.
Godzilla -1 is kind of a retelling of the original story. I love Godzilla -1. I wish Criterion would put that one out. Speaking of Criterion,
yeah,
I think I'm hoping they'll put that one out with the black and white version too. I love watching interviews, and I was watching these interviews with Martin Mull because Martin Mull passed away too. And if you haven't seen, I talk about this in the vlog a little bit, but I was watching this show called The Cool Kids, which is kind of just a fun, light, comedy with Vicki Lawrence and David Allen Greer and Leslie Jordan. Just kind of a funny one-season comedy thing. Wilkie's Movies and Music is here. Hello. And I really like it. The Cool Kids. It's but you can't get physical media for it, but it is available, I think, for a very inexpensive price on Amazon Prime. And we got season 1 for $11, which I thought was really good. But if you're looking for something with Martin Mull to watch, that's one of the ones. Of course, he was in a lot of things, but I love his old interviews with Johnny Carson. Those were really good too. So
yeah.
I have one other thing to show, and then I think we're going to close it up for the day. But my next, Maddie said, my next Criterion Godzilla prediction is that they will put on a box set of the Heisei and maybe the Millennium Godzilla movies. That sounds pretty likely, I would say. Yeah, we did talk about the Money Pit, which is again one of our favorite laughs in a movie. Comes from Tom Hanks in the Money Pit.
So do you think, like, if they do another Godzilla box, do you think it will look similar but different to the one that they have? Like, do you think they'll sort of match?
You mean it'd be like a larger size?
Yeah,
like
it'll be the same size, but just have different art
to
match.
I don't know.
Genre,
I think it would be good to have. I think it would be good
because then it'd be like then it would kind of be like a box set sort of thing.
That would be great if they did that. Yeah.
Because I feel like it would be a little bit annoying if the next box set looked very different than the first one.
Yeah. I mean, you really have to have you have to have a big shelf to store that, the original Godzilla box set because it's so large. But
yeah.
One more movie I'm going to show because the Criterion sale is going on, and we'll talk about Criterion. I don't know why I'm having trouble talking. Yeah, Critioni's the next week. Crostini. Criterion and Kino Lorber is what I meant to say next week. We'll talk about those. Triangle of Sadness. Speaking of cruises, speaking of being on a cruise, this has some really interesting and funny. And this movie got me turned on to this director too. And I probably am not going to pronounce it right, but Ruben Östlund, which I think we watched another one of their movies, Force Majeure.
Force Majeure, yeah.
Yeah.
That one was good. This one,
they need better glue.
Better, but yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree, Brian. They need better glue for the Godzilla sets. Is the same. Yeah. Totally agree. I usually save all those cards and everything too that come on the back of the box sets. But anyway, Triangle of Sadness is available from 2022. And it's I think it's a really great movie. And also this one has one of my favorite extra features on it. Remember we watched this one together, 2 new programs, one about the film's special effects and one about a challenging day on set. I think one of the producers was they needed someone for a scene, and so he like prepared the whole day for the scene, and it was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, that was a very cool feature.
That was pretty funny how they did that.
Apparently, this director has a new film coming out next year.
Brian, I'm glad you mentioned this too. The remake, we were watching the preview for Nosferatu, which is that'll be pretty interesting, but people seem to be very excited about that one.
Yeah.
Nosferatu, so.
And they're also doing another Frankenstein film next year.
Yeah, is that? Oh, really?
Like Oscar Isaac, I think is going to be Dr. Frankenstein.
Who's going to play the monster? Do we know? I don't know. So I think we're kind of in the post show right now. So many great remakes being mentioned here too. Oscar from 1991, The Nutty Professor, which we talked about.
Oh, I guess it's coming out.
What is everyone watching tonight? I think we're going to watch. I finished Aliens. I guess I'm going to go back to some Aki Kaurismäki films probably. And we're going over, I was looking for something after watching The Cool Kids, and I think we're watching Life in Pieces, which is kind of a fun little comedy.
Hilarious.
That I like. I like how the comedy also with James Brolin and Diane Wiest and Colin Hanks and so many others, which is on Hulu. Is it on Hulu?
I think so.
I can't remember now, but I like how the show is, they divide it into like 4 chapters. That's kind of fun.
Because it's called Life in Pieces, and then each episode is 4 stories of one family.
So I think we're going to watch that tonight, and I still have a stack of movies I need to get to. I'm probably going to watch more of the Universal Monsters channel. We always put that on during the day, so we'll watch that. Brian said, I've been rewatching Cumberbatch's Sherlock, which we need to get back to. That's a great one. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is coming out. That's the one we were talking about. Watching the We Are the World documentary on Netflix this afternoon from Mike. Justin said, I'm going to start watching Underground Railroad tonight, which is a Criterion, I believe.
Yeah. The
Out of Towners, also an Oscar, was mentioned by Skulder. The movie addict said, going to Barnes & Noble after to pick up the Pat Garrett 4K. That's on my list too, which I'm hoping to pick up before the end of the month. I think that's great to have more Sam Peckinpah in the Criterion collection. That's a great one. Godzilla -1. I love that -1. Are you going to watch the black and white version or the color version of that? I want to see the black and white version.
The color version is on Netflix, right?
Color version is on Netflix. I don't think you can. I think you have to buy the black and white version separately. I believe, yeah.
If they have a Criterion collection version, they should include both.
I totally agree. They should really. I'm hoping Criterion releases that. That would be great news to hear.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some news of a box set soon from Criterion. That would be really good. But what are we gonna eat? I guess we're having like kind of a holiday lunch with a hot dog or something like that, right? We're gonna do that probably.
Yeah, I think we have some leftovers.
Coleslaw and a little guacamole or something like that. We're going to do that, I think, for lunch.
Yeah, but most people don't mix those things.
We don't mix them up, but I mean. Modesty Blade said, we're watching Running on Empty. That's a great Sidney Lumet, right? Sidney Lumet film.
Is that the one with
River Phoenix?
Yeah, where he's the musician.
Yeah. Running on Empty. That's a good one.
Who's that?
Guardy said, I've been watching Boardwalk Empire. That sounds like a great little series to watch.
We started The Boys, right?
The Boys on Amazon look pretty good. We started an episode of that, but we're trying to finish The Walking Dead too. So we're going to work on The Walking Dead. We have a lot to do.
We have a season and
a half left of The Walking Dead.
Season and a third.
I do have to say that as soon as The Walking Dead gets a little boring, it seems like it gets good again.
Yeah, it has like an episode or two where it kind of meanders and then it picks up again.
Yeah. So we're watching The Walking Dead, Life in Pieces. Isn't that the same thing?
Different pieces.
Different. Modesty Blaze said having a Lumet vibe recently. I love it when that happens. You know, it's a good time of year to watch Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico and so many other great films. Mike D said, I'm introducing my girlfriend to The Boys and she's loving it. We really liked it. I thought it was pretty creative in the beginning. And of course, I think we're watching it because the same actor who plays Negan in The Walking Dead is in it at some point, like 4 episodes in, right?
We started watching it and go, oh, this film has 2 Star Treks.
It says 2 Star Treks on it. That's the thing we started saying too. If we can't think of the actor's name, right, we just refer to their, the show, right, that they're in. Oh, right. Negan's in this.
Right.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Maddie says, I want to choose something from the Criterion channel. Highly recommend those Aki Kaurismäki films. I love those. But there's a Paul Schrader feature up there too. There's a New York feature on there.
It's also nice because you can watch movies that aren't in the Criterion collection, but like they're not really streaming anywhere else. So that's fun.
Yeah, exactly right. There's so much to watch on the Criterion channel, and I think for a streaming service, it's pretty inexpensive, and they really rotate the content. They have good features. I feel like on there. Yeah. I'm really interested in the screwball comedies, so we might watch some of those. But we're watching a lot of, it seems like a lot of older things lately.
Yeah.
Movie Addict said, I've been trying for a few years now to watch the 1776 4K musical. That'd be interesting to watch. I love musicals too, as you know. For TV shows, finished first season of The Three Body Problem, which I haven't seen, and started watching the limited series Eric, both on Netflix.
Oh, Eric, I don't think we
haven't seen that. Yeah. Has anyone seen The Spy Who Came In From the Cold? That's our other choice. But I think Running on Empty. But Running on Empty is very sad if you haven't seen it.
Running on Empty is really good, though.
It is really good.
I feel like that one was on TCN. We just happened to catch it.
Judd Hirsch is in it. I think I bought a physical copy of it, but I think at the time there wasn't a good physical media copy of it, so I got a digital copy of it. Well, this is really post show at this point, right? Yeah. We're still live, so if there's any other questions or you want to share something, let us know. Otherwise, we'll close it up.
Judd Hirsch is also in Independence Day.
Judd Hirsch, yeah, if you're watching Independence Day, you can watch that. I haven't seen that in many years, but
it's on Hulu, I think.
So next week we'll pick a topic from all the great ideas from today. Thanks again, everyone, for coming to the chat today too. We really appreciate it. Coming to the live stream today, because I know how busy everyone can be, and we really appreciate it. And you can always leave us a comment, or if you're watching on replay too, leave us a comment with a topic or anything else you want to talk about. It's nice to have I was mentioning today too that it's nice to have these as a way, because a lot of times creators will do a video of like my top 10 film remakes or whatever. But I think I like this because I feel like we could go back to this, and it's nice to get some great recommendations from everyone in the chat, that I didn't even know about.
It's nice to have a conversation about it instead of you just picking a bunch and talking about them and then seeing the comments later.
Yeah, exactly right. The Movie Addict said, if you like Columbo, Shakespeare, and Hathaway is good. Let's have a great time, Modesty Blaze, since it's time to eat there. How many puzzles do we have on the table? That's a question. I think you can see 10. There's 10 puzzles on the table.
I think there's more like 15 on the table.
15 puzzles?
I think.
You like to do the puzzles. I don't really necessarily like to do puzzles too much.
So 9? You can see 9, but I think there's maybe closer to 15.
Right.
In the stack.
Anyway, thanks everybody for coming today. We really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. I usually have a thumbnail up by Tuesday or Wednesday of the week, so you can see what we're doing. You can turn on the notification, so you'll see when we go live. But we're pretty much kind of sticking with the same time for now, 1 o'clock on Saturdays Eastern time. But thanks everybody so much for coming, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Have a great weekend.